A good portion of my clientele is over the age of 40 and just starting in the dating field again. And many of those people tell me that they get one or two dates, but they don't get asked out again. And if they do, it's more in regards to sleeping together. It's not really people that want to build a relationship with them. So I think what happens, and I've read many profiles to help different clients, is that people get turned off by what happens during a first date. There's a survey that in the US, these three things are what the majority of people over 40 wanted to hear, or this is the information they wanted to know. And there's only three. The first thing is to talk about kids. Do you have kids? How old are they? What is the situation with them? And if you don't have any, are you still thinking that you'd like to? And you might say, well, over 40 is kind of old for some people, but a lot of people are going to continue and they do want children, even if they're early 40s, or they want to adopt. They want to be involved in that. And the person you're dating wants to know that on the first date. That may be a deal breaker for them, but overall, if that person is in a line with that, they really respect their partner being upfront and open about it, transparent. So it makes it look like it's less of an issue if they bring it up. Secondly, they want you to talk about your job. They want to know what you do. They're not very concerned with the money and all of your finances, but they do want to know what you do and if you like it and if you feel how you feel about it. People are very interested in that, especially on a first date. And lastly, they want you to be open and upfront, honest. They really, really respect honesty, even if it makes you look bad at times or it downplays some things they may have thought about you. It's important, they said, that you were honest. And the reason is because it makes you appear comfortable in your own skin. And that is a big deal. That is a turn on to any potential date. What they didn't want to hear, they don't want to hear about how many partners you've slept with. Let's face it, if you're older, there's probably more partners you've slept with. Nobody wants to hear that, especially if they see you as an attractive potential person they want to date. Keep that to yourself. They don't want you to talk about your extended finances. They don't want to know what you're doing with your money, how much you're saving. It bears no influence on how they feel about you on that first date. Usually, unless they're looking for financial security, which you're not going to necessarily line up with or appreciate. And lastly, they don't want you to reveal any sexual issues you have, any sexual kinks. They don't want to know about that, especially men. 68% of all men said that is a turnoff. They do not want to know that on a first date. Potentially, what they're looking at a first date is, do they want to get to know you better? Do they want to go out with you again? And they will know that if you stick with those first three. And I think that's a nice general broad outline that you might want to take with you. And this is true in the United States. I'm not sure about all countries, but usually things generalize. So personally, if I were dating, that is the list I would adhere to.